Good evening to all our beautiful FGI Couch Talk fans. This is your girl, Louisa. We are back again with another beautiful discussion. I'm going to turn over to my sister, Sister Tawa. She's just going to tell us a little bit how she been for the past 2 weeks since we last or before the camera. How she been, how life been with her. Girl, how you been? How you been? How things been with you? How you been doing with the children? I know you're getting ready for back to school. How's
Yeah.
everything been? How you been?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks again for joining us. It's been I can't complain. Again, I can't complain, trying to get everything set for the kids to start school. Um it's like, oh my God, we have to reprogram ourselves to that, routine, school runs, every morning you have to wake up, you have to do this, you have to do that. Now, well, every minute, of course, you have to wake up, but, you have to get the kids ready, you have to prepare their lunch, so it's just, now we're back in that season. Now we just have to enjoy it. We just have to enjoy it. So, yeah, my week was good. I had fun. Um, just learned some few new things, and it's been exciting so far. So it's good to be back here with everyone.
It's been, yes. Sis, talking about back to school. Like you said, we gotta reset the mind.
Mhm.
Reset the thing. We going. We For me, mine is two different side. I'm getting a child into college.
College. Mhm.
Getting Lorenzo ready for college and getting Isaac ready for school. So elementary school. So it's like we are
You're
between. We
the
are in the
one
middle.
part. Yes, you're here, and then you're the tail end of another side
Yes,
trying to deal with elementary and try to deal with college.
yeah. So
That's amazing.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I'm over here trying to do college paperwork and all that. And I was like, you know what, go do school shopping with daddy. Go hang out with daddy. You and daddy go do school shopping. But the past 2 weeks been a really beautiful week for me. Being a pastor, being a mom, being a wife, being a full-time worker. It's just an exciting week. It's never a door movement. It's always something to do, people to call. It's always something. So it's an exciting 2 weeks. It has been, praise God. We was honored. We celebrated our 10-year anniversary. Yes, 10 year being married, 12 years
Wow.
being together. So we celebrated that last week. That was beautiful. My husband actually donated his birthday this year, in the sense that on his birthday we were invited to do ministry work.
Oh,
we
interesting.
we had to go bless a couple whose
Hmm.
birthday was on my husband's birthday. They got engaged.
It's interesting.
So
That's a good one.
yeah, uh,
I said that's interesting. That's a good one.
yeah, very interesting, because the lady that got engaged, her birthday was on my husband's birthday. They both share the same birthday, and and so he was really excited to do it. That's a beautiful thing, and I'm grateful for that. He could have said, you know what, babe, this is my birthday. I want to go do this. I want to go do that. But he was like, you know what, let's go. And we went to the glory of God. We were honored to bless the couple. We were honored to pray for them, and which is a beautiful time. And we gave God praise for that. But no, not to take you guys' time. Today we will be talking another beautiful topic. I'm gonna turn over to Sister Tower, who's gonna lay our foundation. Then we're gonna get into this topic. Before you say I do, before you walk down the aisle, before you make the decision, before you say that big word, some things that you need to do, some things that you need to look at. We're gonna be talking about it today. Before you say that, dude, Sister Tower, over to you, my love.
I like what you said, talking about your anniversary and how you've been together for 10 years. Um, I know that for most of us that have, that are still in the journey, if you can't say it's been a smooth ride. Of course, there's been ups and downs. You had to adjust to some things. You had to unlearn some things, and you had to learn some things just so that you can have a beautiful. Just part of the sacrifice that we make for our families, just to ensure that we. I mean, it's peaceful. It's a peaceful ride, but then we still have our ups and downs. So for you to celebrate 10 years anniversary, it can only be by God's grace. And I mean, a lot of people, some people didn't even make it to 5 years, 2 years, 3 years. And it's not like, there's something magical that happened along the way, but it's just that there's some things that we really have to consider before we say I do. A lot of us would just jump into this whole thing, and, we're excited about, oh my God, he just proposed to me. I'm excited. That first love kind thing, kind of thing, the way we think, the way that they think can shock us back in the days. But after jumping into it, you realize that this is not a child's play. There's a lot of things that you should consider before saying I do to any person or anybody. It's just something that you begin to learn as you just move on in the journey. That, oh my God, this is not this is not a child's play. So we're going to discuss some of the factors or those things that some very crucial points to consider or factors to consider before going into marriage. There are a lot of them. We can talk about the financial part. We can talk about the emotional part. For Christians, we say, "Oh, I want a God-fearing man. I want a man that loves God." Yes, a man can love God. He can do all of that. But at some point, if there's no money, you know what I'm saying? It can be problem. You can run into problems because
Yes.
this person loves God so much, but it's not financially stable enough to take care of the family. You can run into potholes when there are issues like that arise, and then you don't know the emotional. Um, you really can't talk about the emotional aspects of someone else just based
Mm.
off on you are doing lovey dovey stuff back in school, and then so. But before we go straight into this, I want to say a quick welcome to Bemi Sola. Thank you so much for joining us. I just told her, come on, you need to join. You need to come and gist because I know she loves to gist a lot. She has everything said for us. She knows everything to say, and
We are very excited to this. It's going to be an exciting one. You
it is.
know, yes, 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 yes.
So
Welcome,
yeah, it's good
welcome,
to have you here.
beautiful.
It's good to have
Welcome
you.
to the family of FGI Couch Talk. This platform we bring solution. We are solution bringer. Thank you so much for honoring the invitation to be a part of today's section. Like Sister Tara was saying, we discussing before you say I do. Before you said I do, sis, I would like to ask, have you been married? Are you married? Are you thinking about, if not, are you thinking about marriage? So the floor is open to you, sis, to introduce yourself to the FGR Costa family. There you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you. I want to say thank you for having me. Miss Taiwo actually gave me just an hour notice, and I'm like, but I think all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord.
Amen.
Quickly, my name is Bemi Solar Oguduile. Um, I've been married for over 11 years,
Oh, good
and
girl, good.
yeah, I always look like a teenager, which I'm happy. I
Yeah,
love
I know that's right.
it.
That's the plus. That's a plus. Let's keep
I,
that look. Let's keep
yeah,
that look. That's a
I,
plus.
I love it, love it, love it. And
Hmm.
anytime people come to work in my house, they ask for my parents, and I'm like, okay, my husband is my daddy, you
Okay.
know. Yeah, that's such a blessing, right?
Yes.
Thank you for really having me. I just a lot. I talk a lot, but anytime I'm talking too much, you can just break in. So I know that I'm talking too much. Yes. Talking about marriage, what you do
Mm-hmm.
before you say I do. I went before from my story, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's about your story really. People who making the biggest money in this world are making it just by sharing their story
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
one way or the other. So my story when it comes to what I need to put in place before I got married, I didn't have anything in place. I didn't hear any of all of this good stuff that are on social media today. People, I feel like nobody should get married these days uninformed. But I got married uninformed. It was just grace. It was just mercy. It was just God by my side. So I got married. A little bit of my story. My mother had always told me that we are from the families of pig. That means if you're messing around, you're gonna get pregnant, right? So I knew that. I walked around with that consciousness. So she told me when it's time for you to get married, just let me know. No matter how young you are, just let me know. So when it was time, I met my husband. I wanted to get married. I didn't really want to get married. I just wanted to have a boyfriend. Okay, yeah, let me put it that way. Because married is a long thing. I just want to have a boyfriend. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And my boyfriend turned out to be very mature and ready to marry. And I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm not ready to get married, you know. So I took him home and my mommy, as I'm from the firehouse, so we don't do anything without being led. So my mom did all our feasibility studies, prayed, was three of them anyway, because I was very hot and innocent.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Did you hear that? She said she was hot,
Very
and you
hot.
are still hot. Okay,
I was
you
hot.
are still hot.
Yeah, I was hurt. I was innocent. And that two combination does not exist in this day and age. When you
Mm-hmm.
have a person that is hot, when they are hot, they are not innocent.
Mm-hmm.
So, and when they are innocent, they don't look hot.
Yeah, no hot.
So I had that combination, and it was three of them. And my mom went to the Lord in prayers, joined a lot of people. It wasn't like, are you going to? What are the red flags? Nobody asked me all of that.
Mm-hmm.
What is it telling you? What are you not? What is it not supposed to say? Most important thing to us was modesty. Getting married with the bed undefiled, right? It wasn't about uh did he do, what's the finance? Have you discussed finance? People are so educated this time and this age, but during my time I wasn't educated. I was a Christian moving on my own lane. So if you want to get married, the only thing that you have to know is that don't let him touch you so he doesn't impregnate you, so that God is not
Exactly.
gonna you know be mad at you. So my mom prayed all the prayers, and here we are. And she said, oh, two of them are liars. Just one of them love you, and that turned out to be my husband. And we also have a pastor. My pastor is also a very good pastor that is able to see. You know, in those times they can see. He saw my husband, described him without even meeting him. So I knew that with two evidence, the word of God becomes established. So that was why I got married. I didn't know what not to know. When I started seeing everything that I do not like in my marriage, they were actually there. But I didn't know those things that I'm not happy about, I'm not proud about, were were signs that were there from day one. But I was naive. I didn't think it was a sign. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think, do you understand? But
Mhm.
in this day and age, everybody should have, I feel like anybody wants to get married, just go to a couple that you think they're having it all in quotes, right? Because for you to be married for 10 years, I think you're having it all in this our age. Because people just walk out of marriage without even thinking it twice.
Yeah.
It's, yeah, some people walk out of marriage, they regret it, but they can't go back into that marriage because
Mhm.
they don't want to feel sorry or whatever. So, and maybe the other party had already moved on. But if anybody that is single, you don't even need so much preaching by Funke Felix Adejimo or by Marianne. You don't need so much preaching. You just need to look for a couple that you are seeing that you think have it all. Just think, not there's no perfect anybody anywhere. Then ask questions. They will guide you if they are honest enough. If they want the best for you, they will guide you. And I'm sure with the help of God, who sees tomorrow from today, you will not get into the wrong hand. Thank you.
Mhm.
You are so right. You know, when we my story is similar to yours. You know, in the sense that my husband and I, when we got married, there was no one to tell us the do, the done, the red flag things to put into place. You know, no, we did not. We learned, matter of fact, we learn as we go along. And sometimes learning as you go along can be beautiful. It can be a beautiful thing, but if you do not have that grace, it can be a disaster.
Oh
If that
yes.
grace is not upon you and that marriage, it could be a disaster. Not everyone I learn um as you go, become a beautiful end. Not everyone. Thank God, like I said, I can say it's by the grace of God that my husband and I, we are here 10 years 10 years, and it's by the grace of God we still growing and we still learning. That's why we are here today with FGI Couch Talk to bring light, someone out there. You might not have an older sister or mom alive. You might not have someone to tell you things to look at. We are here by the grace of God to educate you, to be that big sister, to be that mother figure, to be that friend that will educate you, that will help you to set you on the right path. Because we do want you, when you get married, we want your marriage to succeed. We want you to celebrate 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. We want you to get old with your partner. So we are here as your big sister. Like my one sister said, don't let the face fool you. Don't let these faces fool you. We got a little age back in the we got age back in there. Don't let the young faces fool you. We got age back in it. We all have had experience in marriage. She's 11 years in counting by the grace of God, because she's gonna get old with her husband. Me too, 10
Amen.
years. We want to get old with our partner. So we're here to tell you our experience and things that you are to look at, things that you are to pay keen attention to before you say I do. I'm going to turn over to Sister Tawa as we go into the first one on the list is what? Capability. Sister Tawa, we're looking at uh, compatibility. I'm sorry, compatibility. That's
Okay, so
our first.
um, so I just want to say that I see that we three have something similar when it comes to our marriage. We have
That's
passed
interesting.
I mean, we've marked the first 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
This year, 11 years I've been married. And
The
sometimes
Lord, look at that.
sometimes I try to look back. I remember when my husband asked me to marry him. Up until we got on the altar, I was like, what am I even doing here? Like, I really don't understand what what happened here? Like, you know, like when I watch people, when I watch their wedding videos, how excited, how invested, they're into, I'm like, you don't do no one. Like, I'm like, why are they so excited? What's happening? Why? Because I just got married. Like, sometimes we just do these things.
Mhm.
And then later you begin to learn and unlearn things. And that makes you better. That's why we can sit, we can talk about our experiences. And the truth is, if you don't have a story, then you might not be relevant to the next person.
Mhm.
story has to somewhat inspire the other person. Your story, it was a tough time back then. But then looking back, I'm like, oh, okay. God wants you to learn some things. And when people say, oh, I heard from God, God told me, I'm like, Killer, what are you even saying? God tell you, how did you know it was God? you know, it's just marry. That's how you
Mhm.
think it works. You just think, oh, when a man says I love you, goes down on his knees and say I'm proposes, and you're like, oh yeah, accept. You jump up and that's it. That's the kind of thing we want. That's the first stage. That is not even a stage in the first place. That one is just
It's not even a stage.
I'm telling you.
you know. But then when you go into it, you begin to understand things like, oh,
Mhm.
no, 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 I didn't sign up for this. Now we're talking about compatibility. Now,
Mhm.
did you think of that? Did you someone you're dating someone that I'm not here to judge anybody. I am Taiwo. I'm sitting down here. Gosh, I am not perfect, but we're just trying to gist. That's what we're doing. You don't like to smoke, and you fall in love with someone that is a heavy smoker. And now, as a woman, you think that love can conquer that? Did I mean you're expecting that, oh, don't worry, once I get married to this person will stop smoking. No, it doesn't happen like that. That
Mhm.
is not your duty. You're not there for that at all. That person has to be sure within themselves that they want to stop. So that's not even your, I don't know. For some people, it might work maybe they love it, it might work. So if you don't want that in a person, why in
Mhm.
the first place are you in a relationship with someone like that? If you cannot stand that. If you,
Mhm.
there are so many, you try to compare. Oh, I don't like to, I I'm so sorry. I'm going to really, really step on toes. So I'll be very
No,
mindful.
no, 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 sis.
Let me stop with that example. But that's what we're talking about,
It's
compatibility.
it's real. It's the real thing. It's a reality of life. You know what, Sister Tawo? It's a reality of life. You understand? This is
Mhm.
things that, like I said earlier, right? Not everyone. People need to realize not everyone has the grace to make it through that situation, right? Not
Mhm.
everyone that I may gonna be willing to change that behavior. Not everyone, right? It could be
Mhm.
a smoking. It could be someone who loves to drink. It could be a man who loves to sleep with two, three different women, right?
Mhm.
Now, some men will say, you know what, I have found my missing rib, I have found my woman, so I'm gonna cut that behavior up. Some women you gotta go through a World War III, right? For them to stop that behavior. Some they never stop that behavior.
No.
So the thing is, if they and some that behavior lead to a divorce. That behavior lead to separation. You understand, sis? So the thing is, if you see this thing, are you compatible with the person? You got to know that, okay, he can smoke, he can drink. Am I able to live with that? You understand, sis? Am I able to live with that? Am I able to live with a drunkard? Am I able to live with a man that's going to take our rent money, you know, and do other things with it? Maybe he's a gambler. He gamble a lot. You met this man, you like this man, he gamble a lot. The thing is, it's a possibility he might change. It's a possibility he might not change. You got to weigh all these things out. You got to look at it, weigh
You
it
know,
out, weigh everything out, because
you
the grace might not be there.
I just really want to cut you short on this quickly because I mean, what you're saying, you have to weigh these things out. The truth is, sometimes while we're much younger, there are some things that interest us.
Mm-hmm.
As a younger person, maybe you might like to go to the club a lot, you might like to hang out, just do some nasty things because that's the age. But then when you meet someone at that time and you decide to be with that person that has similar interests, similar value, and then
Mm-hmm.
you're not out of that age and you become matured and you realize, oh my God, what was I thinking? Why was I so stupid? Why did I even do all? And then you have a quick throwback, you're angry. But you know your decision at that time was based on the fact that you have someone that you share the same opinion.
You
Now
guys
you
are compatible then.
so now you're beginning to detest that you don't want that life anymore. There's a problem because if that person is not willing to get out of that lifestyle, and you are already tired of that, now someone begins to drag you back. So it's like you're going back and forth, and there's a
Mhm,
problem. There's trouble. If you really can understand, so compatibility must not be in the present. You have
mhm,
to think of that person's interest when it comes to value, when it comes to uh, uh um life goals. You talk about intellectual, just talk about all those things. Oh, can I really hang out with this person? Can this
mhm,
person contribute to me? As a woman, you want to marry someone like a guy that you both you just want to grow. You want to uplift each other in whichever way you can. So when all those things now are not beginning to play out, you're somewhat angry, like, oh my God, how did I get myself in this space? This is not what I want. This is not who I want.
mhm.
Now you're 5 years into it. I mean, I've had stories of people that have been married for just months, and they're like, no way, I'm not gonna live with this man or this woman for the next five. I know someone, and this person told me, she said, I'm getting married because I have to get married. But she
Mm,
said, my side guy, I'm not leaving him.
mm,
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
I just blasted in tongues.
Said outright. She said, because these are the people that have been paying my bills before this man came. So I am not going to leave this person for my
wow.
husband. And I mean, you can imagine that's her own belief. And
Mm,
if the husband later finds out and there's issue, she stood on that.
Bye
So you
bye.
have to understand that how can I are we going to be compatible for the next 5, 10, 15 years? Is this who I want to sleep and wake up beside? Is this someone who can add value to my? Because whether we like it or not, the only constant thing in life is change. So as we
exchange.
go, we change, we begin to define our values.
Mhm.
No, I want this. No, I don't want to eat candy anymore. Now I want to start eating broccoli in the morning. I want to keep
Oh,
eating,
now
you
what
know.
for you? You and broccoli.
You begin to form tush tush tush, and it's too late because the person you're hanging out with is telling you, is that candy? Oh, I'm not eating broccoli for anything.
I think I like the conversation we're having because I still had this similar conversation with my friend. She was so candid with me to tell me, baby, you gotta wake up.
Mhm,
Cause when you're getting married, really, like you just nailed it. Our 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 beliefs transcends, I would say, because then we don't
mhm.
even know what we're doing. Like you said, you got to the altar, you're still thinking about it. When my husband told me to marry him, I said no. The guy said, you're not gonna marry me. I said no. Because you this one, I'm not sure. You know, but because then he persuaded me and all of that. I said, okay. But there was a word that I went with. And the word of God is true. That's why you have to believe God. The word
Mhm,
I went into my marriage with was that the believing wife shall make the unbelieving husband believe. So it was clear to me that I had a job and purpose in this marriage that I'm getting into. But in compatibility, we as human beings, we are always attracted towards opposite of us. Just
mhm,
get that and know peace. If you are a godly sister, you love God, it will take the Holy Spirit to wrap your face before you see a guy who is head to toe, snake top in Adidas, looking good, haircuts nice, sharp look. The guy just need to come
yeah,
to church
you
for
know.
3 weeks. Yes. The guy just need to show up in church and you see him and you just say you are in the spirit. And for the guy to just say,
She
I
said you
love
are in the
you.
spirit.
Yes. Once the guy says I love
Sister,
you,
don't
you
come out
just
out of the spirit.
yes, you just be like, oh my god, this guy is tidy. It looks good, and and the brothers in the church. And today, and we gonna be good. And this is all our grade. Thank you.
Ha- Thank you.
So, so- that's my son. It's very interesting. So yeah, like I was saying, we are so used to being attracted towards our opposite. Guess
True.
what? As a good sister who believes in God, who is wearing skirt, whose chest is covered to the neck, if she sees a brother the same way, she may be irritated.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Mhm.
That's
it's
true.
it's normal for every one of us to be attracted towards the opposite sex. It's
Hmm.
very normal. But that's where we need guidance. That's
Yes.
Exactly.
where we need people who are not in love. Your parents, they don't even like him. So once they see him, they just let just give you
So
sense.
this
They
are
borrow you
Lele.
sense.
My eyes.
Yes, but that you will go with somebody you're compatible with. It has to be somebody who is already 35, 40 years before getting married. Because
Mm.
then you're already mature, you've seen it all. But you're getting married at your 20s and you now want to think you have sense. You say if you don't even have sense at that point to be able to know that,
This
yes,
are
this
Lele.
person, yes. Because
Woo!
another thing is, another thing is you have to, one thing I think you have to marry a teachable person. And you good? And even
You
my idea.
you
Yes.
cannot. You're talking about teachable. That is almost impossible. So I want to see how we can deal with that. Talking about someone that is teachable. How do you teach? How do you teach? I mean, okay, I'm going to
Adult.
talk about
It's
how do you teach a husband?
no, it's a hard one. It's very hard. It's something you gotta pray about. We're gonna move to communication. Communication is very important. you know like we first discussed, the excitement. You meet this guy, you're excited. Like she said, the guy looking good, sharp. You might be at a vulnerable place, or whatever your mind is at the moment. Take a step back. Can you talk to this person? Can you communicate your insight? Can you talk to the person? Is this person as someone that you can be able to come from work and then take off your shoe and gist with that person? Can you be able to talk to how you feel, express yourself to that person without trying to pretend? Can you be honest with that person? Can you let down your guard with that person? Because if you're gonna marry someone that you guys cannot talk, you cannot be you around, you always have to put on this show around the person. You guys, the communication is not strong. I would not recommend you taking that step yet. Because when you get into marriage, this is what me and my husband learned. Our story, right? We did a lot of assuming from the beginning of our marriage. We did a lot of assuming. Oh, I assume you like this food. I assume you like that. I assume, oh, it's okay. I assume that it was okay. Then you realize, no, it's not okay. You realize that, okay, you guys are not communicating. We wasn't talking. We wasn't expressing our feeling. We wasn't being our authentic self, right? Because we assume a lot. And sometimes you feel like, okay, for common example, right? Taiwo knows me. When I go to serving someone food, I'm gonna serve you the whole of Africa. I don't get
That's a
I'm
food
not
right.
I'm not able to get somebody like a little plate of food, right? So I used to make my husband food to go to work. Man, let me tell you, I will make this, make that, make this, and make that. And he never told me that he didn't like it. He took it and he took it and he took it. I just assumed that he liked it. And he assumed that because we in the house, he might not like it. So when we finally get to where for him to tell me that, okay, I don't like that, it came out so wrong because he is like, it got up to his cup. Like, I don't want that. It's too much. And I felt more appreciated. So that was a big conflict, and we learned over the years. We learned that to talk, to communicate. Because when we talk, I'll be able to, okay, don't assume for me, and I will not assume for you, but rather we communicate. Tell me your in, your out, your like, your dislike. Let's put it on the table and talk about it. Communication is very important. If you cannot talk to someone, it's a problem. Regardless of how much you think you love that person, how much you feel you love that person, if you cannot talk to that person the way that married people living together supposed to talk, having some real tough conversation, if that cannot happen, that's a problem. Over to you, Sister Tawati, our other sister come back.
Yes. Yes, communication is vital in any relationship. You
Mm-hmm.
know that communication again. I studied mass communication, and communication is complete when the other person receives the message and there's a feedback. Your
Mm-hmm.
communication is complete. Now, assumption, I like the man says assumption is the father of frustration. When you assume,
It's the father of all frustration.
my my grandpa will also say that too. But the truth is, a lot of things we just assume in relationship
Yes.
can cause huge, massive conflict. And I use that word massive because the things that we think, oh, it really doesn't matter, my wife,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't matter, my wife will not really, it won't mean anything to her, or my husband won't really, or my fiance would not really mind. Those are the things that end up blowing up in our faces later.
Yes.
And the truth is, we were talking about being teachable. If you're trying to communicate with your spouse, trying to tell them, don't do this. There's a way you can communicate in love. There's a way you can
Mm-hmm.
make it come, oh, honey, I'm trying to, how we do it. We have our own different and unique ability. So the way we can do it can be very different. But again, is that other person, are they willing to listen to you? It's a two-way street when it comes to marriage. I want to sit with you. I want to talk with you. Can we have a very meaningful communication? I mean, I used to have that issue sometimes with my husband. And then, it was initially it was really difficult to sit and talk with him because at the end, we don't finish that communication, we'll fight.
Welcome to my word.
Because coming out strong and he's coming back, and we're like, holy shit. At the end of the day, we separate, we are gone. Now we did not achieve anything.
Nothing.
No
Nothing.
communication there. We just succeeded in getting each other angry. And
It's
that is nothing. And that
toxic.
is going on, it can mess up a marriage. See, tiny things like that can destroy a marriage. It can lead to divorce. I mean, oh, that person, you can't talk to her. Oh no, I can't talk to him. He's too full of himself. She's too proud. She thinks she's all that she knows. And that's it. You just need small. The devil just need one small thing, just small loophole. It will help you
Yes.
design it, decorate it, make it bigger, very massive. And there you are. Divorce is, at the door. So yes, you have to communicate your emotions. You have to communicate that intelligently. You have to communicate your feelings. All of those things you have to communicate. Like my husband he's communicating with me now that he's hungry.
Oh my
You have to communicate all of those things, and the other person must receive it and have the feedback. That way, you have mutual understanding. It makes your marriage, your relationship very sleek, easy, and people look at you and say, "Oh my God, look at them! They're getting it so right." But you have to lay down something. It might be your pride. It might be whatever it is, just so that the other person, both of you, can come to an agreement. And so, yes, your communicate it openly, communicate your concerns, your feelings, your emotion, your thoughts, just discuss. That's why they tell you sometimes make time out. We Africans, we are too used to joko sile, take care of the children, do this, do that. But the truth is, it's okay for you and your husband to take a break. Weekend, just go sit down somewhere and just talk about your life. Do a quick
Mm-hmm.
read of your 10 years, of your 11 years in relationship. and talk about what you have achieved. Talk about the children. If you have children, talk about yourself. Talk about your achievements. Talk about your investments. Just talk about everything and all that you need to talk about, and then you see that you do a very smooth relationship. So Gbemi, over to you. If you have anything to say on communication, we just
I think as you were talking, a lot of things was flashing through my head. With communication, it's like a bomb that can, without communication, the marriage is actually set for a rock. I've seen situations where men, I think the first thing is you have to be vulnerable to each other. Don't even go into a marriage with anybody that cannot go naked in front of you. When I mean naked, I don't mean, physical nakedness. I
Mm-hmm.
mean everything naked. What you like, what you don't like, what you eat, who your friends are, your mommy, your daddy. What if I be so naked that you're telling me what is happening between your mommy and your daddy? That way I know that there's nothing you can't tell me. Do you understand? So you have to be very naked. If you are not naked and that person cannot be naked with you, don't even marry that person, please. Don't try it. Don't even go. If I don't have a 3 days date with 3 days date with that person. Because if I cannot, like, when my husband sits down, even before now, I know what is passing through his head.
Mm.
That's how naked it was to me. And same me, I mean, me, my life is in my perm. My husband is teaching me these days to not put my life in my perm. Because when I'm happy, I am happy. You see it. I don't know how to keep something. When I'm nervous, you can see it. I'm just trying so much now that I'm trying to go on social media, not to put my eyes, not to put my heart on my face. But my spouse knows my heart. When you know anybody's heart, then you can go into a marriage with that person. That person may not be compatible today. They may get to be compatible tomorrow because they are teachable. They are very vulnerable to you, so you can remold them easily. But anybody who has a second life hidden, or there's some things that these days they say don't tell it all. Say some things, keep some things, and you don't do all of that, and that person is not plain to you, then how will the communication actually flow? The communication will break at some point. There are some things that you don't want to say. I've seen a friend that she can't sit down with her husband to talk. The guy will walk away. And I was wondering how they got married. Like, if they have issues, yes, they have issues, and they're like, hey, I don't like what you're doing. You can't even have time to sit and talk and be like, I will woz you if you try that with me again. The guy is like, you was me, am I your mate, kind of thing. And you're able to trash those things out. But the guy will not even wait. The marriage went on a rock 2 years because they can't even sit down together to communicate.
Mm.
That was a shock. Like, I've never heard that before. Because why? Both of them had something that they didn't tell each other. They were not vulnerable. There were some
mm,
things they would not say to each other. There were some things, so it was a problem. In-laws could not come to their house. It was just jargons. So because they can't communicate, they are they are pancaking. You know when they say you pancake something,
Mm.
you, you're trying to be posh to your husband, or the husband is trying to be posh to his wife. I mean,
mm.
if you want to
Hard
be
with
posh
my
to
husband.
me, yeah. Is that a word? I don't even know where that came from. You try to
Mm-hmm.
form fancy. You try to, I don't talk too much. When we go out, I just mute. If you can't be lousy with me, I can't marry you. Please
Yeah.
don't do that. Don't make that mistake. And even if it's a man, if you're a man hearing this, or you're gonna hear this in the future, any woman that cannot laugh with her old teeth out, don't go
Hear that?
there. Yes.
If you can laugh, no small teeth, small teeth,
You
small
can,
teeth.
like,
We,
you
yes,
cannot laugh and they're seeing
ladies,
all your
we're gonna move on to
everything.
yes.
Everything dangling in your throat. And you can just laugh and be rolling on the floor. Oh. I'm going into that marriage because I know
I'm
that
telling
person is
you.
like this.
We're gonna
But
move on to there's something that is not on the list but it's very important. I would like for us to discuss this. Is young women out there that are deciding to marry to an older person. What what advice can we give to them before they say I do to that older individual that is, let's say, 10 years, maybe 15 years, are much older than them and they want to say I do to that person? What are some of the things they are to look at?
Okay, let me tell you something. I just want to chip this in quickly. Not everyone will marry a young person,
Mm,
and not everyone will have feelings for young people. Even for men, there are some men that will not marry younger girls. They want to marry someone older than them. Although we think it's a taboo, but it's not. It's not at all.
mm,
So I can just spell out the advantages you have with a grown up with an older person and maybe a younger person. Now, an older person has years of experience. If he's the one that has sense, so, they have years of experience. They know what they want. So when they're dating someone younger than them, they understand that, oh, this person, I'm dating them because they're actually looking for something specific in that person. Unlike
mhm,
when we're both young and we're trying to just lovey stuff, we're going to find out later. But they are more specific. Yeah, because they're older, so they know what they want. And if you so happen to meet with someone that is younger, that knows what she wants, because whether you like it or not, some people are young, but they are full of sense. They
mhm.
are wonderful. Now, some people are old, and you can be so annoyed at them that, is this person not thinking at all?
Things don't come out.
Hey, there's what I'll do. Yeah. No disrespect to anyone.
Things has
It's just
left.
what isn't there. Yes. So when these two people come together, there's no problem. You're gonna have There's going to be respect from the wife, if she's the younger person, to the husband, because now you're dealing with a younger person that is intellectually sound, that knows what they want.
Mhm,
So for her to even summon up the courage in the first place to date someone older or to marry someone older than her, she must also be looking out for something. And for that man to also do the same thing, now there must be something. However, there are situations where those kind of marriages, if they get as it be, But then, how about those that are married? How about men that are married to older women? I mean, I have an example. My grandparents, my grandmother was older than my grandpa, and it was sweet. In fact, their union was very funny. You just want to see these two of them sit down and talk because there's always a lot to learn. It was beautiful, and they lived till their old age. They were there together, so it can work out fine. If you're trying to get an advice for someone that wants to marry an older person, you have to spell out your facts right. Why do I want to marry this person? Now, if you're
mhm,
marrying because this person is rich, this person is beautiful, this person is that, just know those are physical factors. And
mhm,
those ones way over time. Now, what will sustain your relationship is deep within. And that's where we talk about communication. That's where we talk about trust. You assess the level of intelligence of this person. That if this thing happens, how will this person resolve this? We talk about conflict resolution. Talk about a lot of things, expectations, roles, financial decisions. Those are things that will even make you want to think that I want to marry someone that is older than me. And then over time, of course, you accord the respect that you have, that they are due. You give them their respect, and they'll respect you back. It's a two-way street. Respect is reciprocal. So sometimes it can be very peaceful. But God help you. You marry someone that is older than you, especially from the African community that believes that a wife has to always calm down every time, calm down. Then it is only God that will settle that case. I rest my case.
you know, talking about marrying somebody that's older, you know, like you said, we have to weigh it out, right?
Mhm.
We gotta weigh the good, the bad. Yes, if you marry someone older because you're looking for that stability, right? You're looking for that stability. The person may probably they are financial stable at that moment. They know what they want, right? They know what they want and everything and all that good stuff. But also we gotta look out for the future, right? As as the year go, right? If that man is 10 years older than you, you know he's gonna get older. He's gonna hit certain age, certain how you call it? What's the English word I'm looking for? Certain things will begin to happen to that person before you, right? Because while the person is much older, the person is older than you, right? So
You
these
think
are things that, yeah, these are things that you have to put into consideration when you are marrying an older individual. The age factor. If that's a woman, she might hit menopause, right? If you see an older woman and you about to say I do to that older woman, have it in the back of your mind that she might hit menopause. What are you gonna do when she hit menopause? Right? What are you gonna do when she can't keep the AC on, she can't keep it turned it off? 1 minute she's hot, 1 minute she's cold. What are you gonna do? Will you be able to cope with that? These are some of the things that lead to a divorce, right? These are some of the things that lead to separation. We don't want separation. So before you say I do to that other individual, now you're weighing the good, the bad, the today, the tomorrow, and the day after that. Because all those things gonna take place, they're gonna come up, right? The tower talked about the conflict resolution, the financial stability, the communication. Okay, let's say all of that is good, right? All of that is good. Old age, you have to also think about old age. You got to put old age into consideration because a point will come, honestly speaking, he might not be able to handle the business. She might not be able. So I'm seeing you coming closer to the that it's a
yeah.
reality of
I
life,
don't understand that.
huh?
I said I'm lost here. Does anyone understand that?
You might not be able to
Cannot
handle.
hear you talking. We can't. Okay, yeah. I think you.
Yes, so
What business is that though?
okay.
I
Business is
don't
business.
get it.
They
Business is
might not be
business.
able to enter the tear heaven. They might not be
Just,
able to.
just let it go.
Yeah, they might
Let
not
it
be
go.
able to get the job done in the bedroom the way it used to be. She might not be able to arthritis my head in the back. Knee problem, or edge my head in. So before you say I do to that older man or that older woman, we have to put all these things. You have to have that at the back of your mind. Okay, my husband is gonna be get older before I do. I'm still gonna be young, and he's gonna get old, or you know, he might be young. It might be a gentleman marrying an older woman, and my wife might hit menopause, right? What am I gonna do? What are the things I need to do? I can do when my wife or my husband begin to experience old age. What are the things I need to do? It's very important because you don't want to wait. Because you don't want to wait when you get there, then problem begin in the marriage. Some people, like we said, you might not have the grace to sustain that, then divorce happen. So have that into the mind. Says over to you.
I can't wait to hear her. She has something
Yes.
to
Are you for real?
Says over to you. I see
I'm all
you went.
about the story.
Uh-huh.
So I was raised by an intentional mom. My mommy is very intentional.
Mm-hmm.
So right from my little age, we were all girls at some point. My brother came way when we were done being girls. So yeah, my mom would always tell us that a girl is 3 times smarter than a boy of
Mm.
his own age. So if you put a girl of 5 years old standing, put a boy of 5 year old standing, they are not thinking the same way. That girl is thinking twice smarter, can say things faster, can articulate better, can do things by herself better than that boy. And that's the way it goes. So if you marry your age mate, you may have to be very patient with him
Mm.
because it may not be as smart as you are. My husband is way older than me. Because when he saw me, he said, "When I saw you, I saw I saw your soul, your beautiful soul. You were just
Uh,
like this." He knew what he wanted. That's why when you marry mature people, they know what they want.
Exactly.
Their capacity has grown better for them to know what they want. But guess what? You must still, like you said, Miss Louisa, you said that you don't want to marry somebody that will now get so old. So there should be a bracket. And I remember listening to somebody who I respect so much a long time ago and said that the bracket should not be more than 10 years, give or take. Because if it's more than 10 years, you know that when you're 40, things change. When you're 50, things change. You see that 10 years?
yes.
Very important. So no matter what, no matter how bad it may be, don't let it be more than 10 years. If I marry my age mates, I will not still be married because I have a sharp mouth. I can talk that somebody would just want to faint. So imagine if it was like my husband would just say, "You started, oh, you started." That's maturity. Yes, it's because he's matured enough to know that this is my baby sister. She can talk, so he will not even bother me. Imagine if I married my age mate, I would have dragged him like
Fire for
children.
fire. Push, push.
Yes, I'm always saying it. I told my friend, I said, if I can, was it my friend? I think it was my mom. I said, if it can be this naughty to my husband, imagine if it was my age mate, I would have just be beating him. So please, I can't marry my age mate. Yes, because sometimes I just give him that respect of, oh, when I got married, one of my mother-in-laws would say that you married your brother. Respect. She said, "Oh, anytime." So she used to say some stuff to me then, but I knew that our own was, nobody should take that. She used to tell me that if your brother slap you, your senior brother slap you, will you slap him back? I said, my brother, senior brother cannot slap me except he will not sleep in the house. Because if he slaps me,
Well,
if he
how I
sleeps in
don't
that
do.
house, he better wake up in the middle of the night with all his face full of red pepper because I will give him back. That's how funny I am. So, but my mother-in-law then would say that if your brother-in-law shake you, will you shake him back? I said, hey, mommy, I can shake him, but you know, but that's the I always, you know what? I still remember to today. These were the things they told us on our wedding day. I still remember to today. So sometimes I just be like, oh, this guy is not my mate. Give him some respect. So I'll just give him. But on a normal day, there won't be respect. So I would say anybody, especially when you are big, you're on the big side like me. Ah, don't marry your age mate because you will become his mother in 3 4 years after a child. You just become his mom. I've
You're
seen
right.
couples like that. The
Yeah.
wife would you just if I in my church, they gave testimony. We are Mr. and Mrs. After they didn't even say we are. I thought it was the mom that came with the son, to share testimony. But when the wife collected the mic, she said, "My husband." I'm like, "That's your husband? That is impossible." Yes, because the woman looks, but you can tell that they are the same age mate. But because she gave birth, she
Mhm.
modulated. Now she's looking like his mom. And some men may not like it at all. That could be something that will break the marriage easily because you feel
Yeah.
like this lady just full ground because and their age mates. You know, and there's another thing that I like about it though. Another side, a flip side of it is that when you marry your mate, you guys are just sometimes the man cannot even lord himself over you. You know the way the man will be like, you don't even give me one higher type of respect. I'm not your age mate. But if he's your mate, he can't lord things over you. He cannot say that, okay, you have to give me respect. Respect me. I am the man of this house. You have to respect me. Give honor to whom honor is due. The Bible says that you must, all of those things that
You
your
begin to
elder
quote Bible
people.
up and down.
Honestly,
Yes, your mate can't do that with you. You will know that you guys are mates. It's like, hey, wash that plate. Eh? You mean I should wash plate? Uncle, wash that plate because they are age mates. But if they are not age mates, you can't really do all of that. So you must
Yeah.
weigh it. But I will still lean forever, ever lean towards the older person because at least it would have small sense more than me or like me. You know, I have a girl in my church. She's not married till now, and I keep telling her, "You're making a lot of money. You're beautiful. This beauty can fade. Your Prada will not stand again. You may start dropping. Get married." And she said something to me. She said, "Oh, these guys you see, she said they don't have sense." I look at her like, because this girl, she's intellectually sound. She works with Oracle. She's sound. She knows what she's doing. When I see her, when we have conversation, I know her high cues here.
exactly.
So for that kind of person, now go on a date with a guy that is thinking like a 1 year old, she will be irritated from her soul. That's why
Mm-hmm.
she's not married yet. So immediately she finds somebody that is like 40 years old, maybe that her own Gen Z head can match small you know, sincerely. So go
You,
for somebody older than you, regardless. I had mates in my school who wanted to be friends with me. I friend zoned them. I said I can't marry. My mommy said I can't marry my mate. I'll be big. So pack well. you know. So I think is the work from home. Everyone here, we should work on our children very early. Let them know. Let them know. So they don't come tomorrow and one love come and fly on their head with their classmates that doesn't even know where it's going and they start sleeping with each other. They don't even know where they are going. Somebody that you are sleeping with at age 20, he himself has not even finished school. He doesn't even know what he's doing. By the time he's matured, he now knows his type. He now knows what he wants. Then you will just be there. So don't age mates, please. If you want to marry early, age mates, throw age mates out of the window because they cannot carry what you carry. That's if you carry big. But then if you are like them, you can go ahead.
and then
It's
another thing I would like to say to that is you are absolutely right. There's no how. Years of experience would always surpass any, one that is trying to any upcoming babe or whatever. That's what years of experience would do to you. Also, we should also note that there are advantages to marrying someone that you are almost close in age. Now, if you're the same age mate, fine, maybe 2, 3, 4 years, that's not bad. The reason I said advantages is because you can you guys can play like friends, you know. You guys can play like friends. You can do things. You can because you feel like you're paddy.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why the advantages of marrying someone that is older than you because of their years of experience and they already know what they want. So when they're coming for you, they know that who I want, right? But then the silliness in marrying your, age mate or someone that is close, it will also play out when it comes to friendship and all of that. You can sit down, you can relax, you can just say things to yourself. You can fart in front of each other. You can mess. Everybody can mess. You don't have any problem with that. You can because now you yourself as friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that way you see yourself as friends. And let me tell you, the children will also enjoy that because that's what they see daddy and mommy doing. They play like friends. So when they're even going to get married, they're watching out for someone that is their friend to get married to. They both have their advantages, they both have their disadvantages, of course. We know that marriage is like an institution you don't even graduate from. That we have to keep
Mm-hmm.
you must keep learning because there are so many ups and downs. And for you to even get it right in any marriage, the most important and effective thing to do is to communicate. Communication is key. That will save you years of stress. It will save you years of stress. So I just wanted to quickly chip that in.
It says, like I said earlier, you gotta weigh it out. What works for you? you know, weigh it out before you say I do, before you get to that altar. Before, my grandmother always says, small shame is better than big shame, right? Before you get to that altar, weigh it out where you fit, right? Some people older fit, some people They got it. You got your age range. Okay, 5 years older, 10 year older, maybe lesser. Maybe he got to be 3 years older than me. Few years, weigh it out. Always sit down, have a communication with self, right? Have a self communication where you stand, because at the end of the day, you have to live with that person. We can sit here for the next 20 hours, give you guys our advice, give you guys our experience, but it gonna fall back on that decision you made, because you gotta live with that person. Be an older person that is have their mind together, know what they want, they're ready to settle down, they're ready to shoot. You got to think about, okay, he's going to get old. She's going to get old. Am I going to be able to deal with that? Am I going to be able to deal with a menopause situation? Am I going to be able to deal with her when she get old? You weigh it out, and if it's a plus for you, if it's okay for you, go for it. And you look at it on the other hand. Okay, I need somebody that we're gonna grow together. If that works for you, look at it. But don't just get in the excitement of marriage and just jump into it. And at the end of the day, you don't like that. That's not your idea. But it was the excitement. Because when a man come in your life, a woman come in your life, and that person got it all together, right? It can be an older man, an older woman, someone that has money, someone that has everything. They graduate from school, they got everything set, and that excitement of that person coming into your life, you're not weighing everything out, right? You're not weighing your option out. You're not having self communication. Communication is not just between you and the other person. Talk to yourself. Self, is that what I want? I've said it many times. When it comes to even me praying, me talking to God, and a lot of people have seen me at the light and be like, I think that woman is crazy, because I be having a full conversation in the car, or full conversation with myself, talking out loud. I want to hear my thoughts. So I speak it out loud. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to become. Then I take that to my partner. I take that to my husband. Baby, this is my goal. This is what I want to do. This is what I want. Then we sit, we discuss it. But we gotta be able to have conversation with ourselves. Make that decision based on what you are able to do 20 years from now, 30 years from now, when all the honeymoon stage is gone, right? That honeymoon stage will go. It will go. That lovey-dovey moment, it will go. That stage where you guys are calling each other all the time, you're talking, that stage gonna come. But there has to be something that is gonna keep the marriage going, right?
Mm-hmm.
There has to be that strength in the prayer and the people that around you and all that is going to keep that marriage going, right? So you got to weigh it out. You got to weigh it out, because tomorrow, if you got to change that person diaper, oh well, you sign up for it, right? You sign up for it. You're expecting that. Listen, my husband's gonna get old. I'm expecting to do this. My wife is gonna get old. I'm expecting to turn the AC off, turn it on, turn it off. We might be able to get two separate beds in the room. Her bed might be to the right side, my bed to the left side, because she's going to the menopause. All this, we got to put it into consideration before we get into that. We're going to quickly discuss, time is far running out. We're going to combine trust, financial issue, and the person friends. Their surrounding, the family. It's one thing you should look at before you go into a marriage. Look at the person family. Because let me tell you, you're going to have to deal with mama. You're going to have to deal with daddy. You're going to have to deal, with their sibling. Yeah, you can get away with the cousins. You understand? Now, if they are very close with their cousin, you're going to have to deal with, you're going to see them at a birthday. You're going to see them at a party. You're going to see this family throughout your life. As long as you're in a relationship, in that union with that individual, you're going to see every single one of them. Either sooner or later, you're gonna see them. You're gonna come in contact with them. The thing is, can you handle them? Can you be in that space? Can they be in your space without your blood pressure going to 120, 100, and stuff like that. So these are some of the things we gotta put into consideration. The family, the financial, the trust. Over to you, Mr. Taiwo. We're just gonna combine these three.
Sometimes you watch all these our movies, African movies, and they tell you who is their father, their family, where are they from? Are they rich? Are they this? Are they that?
You're on your own.
When you have parents ask questions like that, it might sound like it's very vain, sort of, but what they're doing is trying to protect your interest. Because
Yes.
why would a man want to marry? He's not ready to take up responsibility of the home.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the man goes to the wife and tells the parent, I want to marry your daughter, meaning I want this woman to be my wife. I can take care of this woman. And he knows that after a while, that woman will start bearing children. That means that man is saying, I can take care of your daughter and our children,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when a
Yeah.
man walks up to a woman or to her parents and asks for a hand in marriage, you're asking for responsibility. So you
Mm-hmm.
cannot afford to be broke when you're doing that.
Can you
Nobody
repeat that again?
want to be broke while you're doing that. And I understand that a lot of things happen. You see, truth is, marriage is for the strong hearted. It's not my mom. You see all this, I love you, I love you. I love you. It's so fake. Yeah, it's the surface. I love you, you're everything. You just want to satisfy the moment. But way beyond that moment are moments and that will
Hmm.
change forever.
Hmm.
So can you see beyond that moment and see what lies ahead? Are you willing to really take that risk? Are you ready for children? Because you cannot ask a woman to marry except you have spelt it out in your relationship that I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to have. But once a woman marries, she wants the blessing. The children are the blessing. The Bible says that children are
Yeah.
heritage of God, you know. So heritage of God. So you can imagine that woman wants to have children. Are
Mm-hmm.
you ready to buy diaper the next 5 years? Are
Mm-hmm.
you willing to buy pull-ups, baby food, to do
Mm-hmm.
that responsible? Or if it's that first stage love, shake it off because it will fade away. It will fade off.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're marrying, you are taking up responsibilities.
It's true.
Now the woman, on the other hand, of course, as a man, you are not just going to go and marry. I had someone who once told me, you want to be a housewife, you know. So when you look at someone and you think that this person is only good, but because sometimes when you say some things, some men can only see you as this person because they can't reason, they can't see beyond who they are seeing in the physical. So
Mm-hmm.
how do you prove to this man that I am way more than who you think I am? So if you want to marry a woman, you yeah, does she fit with with this? Does she fit with my values? Can I really hang out with this person? Can I trust this person to be my wife forever or my husband forever? Okay, now let's talk about the woman. Can she hold up a house? Because whether or
Mm-hmm.
not, the woman is responsible for the children,
Yeah.
or not. Now we carry them. For the belly. I'm sorry, I'm using. So somehow you feel responsible for them because they are from you.
Mm-hmm.
Is this woman going to be a good mother to my children?
Yes.
This woman going to help me in that area of my life when we start having children? Can this woman contribute to me mentally, physically, emotionally? Now, when
Yes.
we talk about financially, go to Proverbs 30. You see that the Proverbs 30 woman, she had all of this, and she was also a business person. Sometimes it doesn't mean you really need to have so much empire. But you see, this our brain. Like she said, like Stagbemi said, that a woman thinks 10 times faster than a man. There's just one tiny idea that you give to you because she has gone ahead, she has seen ahead. Then she'll come and tell you, try it this way, try it. And when you try it, you see that you begin to. But a lot of men cannot handle that. When a woman tells them, let's try it this way, even no matter how humble you say it, that's a woman. There's nothing she says that matters. Meanwhile, most times you shoot yourself in the leg because the Bible says wisdom is profitable to direct. When someone comes with an
Mm.
idea and gives that to you, idea is useless. It was conceived from a place of, careful expectation. So you have to run, you have to weigh your options. Will this thing actually work? Can this thing help me? So sometimes you might not really have the woman, you might not be bang, 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 bang. Because even men, when they say woman that is bang, 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 like Sagbemi was saying, they can sometimes feel threatened, like, oh, this woman is big, she's a big woman and all of that. But you see that small idea they throw at you and you grab it and you run with, you'll be surprised how you will enlarge your territory with that idea. So yeah, when you look at a woman before you marry her, before you go and acquire the responsibility that you want to acquire, you have to know that, is this person in? Are we in this together? Can we be
Yes.
a family? Can we get
Mhm.
things? Can we actually build the kind of home that people admire? When you weigh out
Yeah.
all those, you think yes is the answer. Why not? You go ahead. And that's when we start to talk about trust. You talked about trust. You talked about financial compatibility. And
Mhm.
yeah, it might not be that the money is gara gara on both sides, like you have equal this thing, but either ways, just see ahead and think that, can we actually achieve a lot of things with your level of knowledge? Are you willing to acquire more? Are we willing to expand this? And that's just how it works. And then your expectation, I don't know if you talked about that, but let me just stop at that so that I can let someone else talk.
Okay. Sis, over to you.
I don't want to waste our time because she said a lot, and I'm grateful for the wealth of knowledge. I like to learn. I actually came here to learn more. I think I want to hear people talk about their experiences than me sharing, because what do I know? But when it comes to financial capability, you talked
Mhm.
about in-laws. Yeah, that was one big thing. I lived with my in-law for 6 years. It wasn't easy. It was traumatic, if not for God. So I will take all of this, everything I've said here is good.
Mm.
But with God, all things are possible. Everything you have said
Amen.
can be possible with God. That means we all have ideas. But when God is in the boat, really, it's an
Mm.
anchor. Don't just walk in a marriage without having a word from God. That will
Yes.
settle you, settle the marriage. You go back to God in prayer with that word. This is what you said. Yes, I know this and that, but God, what do you have for me? Then when it comes to finances, like you said, marriage is not for boys, neither is it for girls. It's for men and women. So if you are not even as a woman, you don't want to come empty. Kai, I don't want to go to a marriage empty. I was in that situation. I don't want anybody on earth to go into a marriage empty. No matter how much that person have and say that, don't worry. I want to marry you. I will marry you, marry your family. I will marry everybody marryable. Don't go. Make
She's
sure you have your what it takes, a skill. Carry a skill with you at worst, no matter how bad it is, go with a skill. These days, social media is even a skill. Make sure you go with a skill, something that can turn into money overnight. Because all of this love, when there is no food in their house, it becomes annoyance. You will be angry, you will be angry, angry man. There's no food at home. The guy is going out, you know, working hard, all of the stress. When the guy comes home, it's gonna bring all of the stress to you that you're sitting at home. So as it's coming in, if you
mm.
two went with your own stress, you people will collide the stress and melt it. But when you think you are a homemaker, yes, you have stress, you're cleaning the house, but hey, I don't want that. In fact, I don't want to hear it. Have a skill. that will go with you in a marriage, both
Mm-hmm.
sides, because you don't even want to stress that man. If he's stressed, you bring your bill. I want to make hair, I want to do this. Yes, the man should still be able to do all of that, but you are bringing all the bills. The guy is not going to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
you know Inside him will just be like, oh, what did I get myself into? Whereby there are ladies out there, Leo, saying guys should just come. I just want to bear your name, I'll take care of you. There are
Mm-hmm.
plenty outside, and somebody is now dealing with you, and you are not bringing anything to the table. Like they always say on Instagram, what are you bringing to the table? Yes, they say it will drag them, but really, just think about that person as your uncle or my brother. Oh, we know people that will say that, ah, that wife is a horrible person. She's stressing the guy house. You don't want to be that person to your husband. You want to then trust. Trust is important in any relationship. If I can't trust you, I can't even marry in the first place. If you cannot say that this person is at Washington, D.C. by 3 o'clock, standing near the president, and is so, don't get married. Because that person, you must be able to trust that person. And if that person do something wrong, you must be able to tell you they did it wrong. I know in the African community, we hide a lot of things under the carpet, like, you don't want to tell that person, but I can't trust you. And of course, trust will be broken a lot of times in the marriage. Somebody would, the other person will break your trust, but you still have to keep building it. Let them know, you just broke my trust, you broke my heart, and I'm not going to trust you again. And the guy is like, okay, I'm sorry, we're going to rebuild, I'm going to try. Okay, so you keep trying to build that trust, because without trust is like a foundation. If I can't trust you, how will I give you $10,000? If I can't even be sure that you're not taking that $10,000 to another woman outside, or I cannot be sure that you will not go and use that $10,000 to buy just one pair of Gucci shoe. I can't trust you enough to know that $10,000 you're not going to buy build house in Africa without me knowing. So I must be able to trust you before I can even do anything with you. Before I can bring my money to the table, before I can support you with my chest, there has to be trust. Financial capability, you bring something to the table, please. The guy is bringing a lot, you to bring something, because we're smarter than them. And most of the time, they don't take these ideas. So you to run with your own ideas. Like a lot of times, I give him my husband ideas. I will give him, give him, give him. He will trash it, trash it, trash it. Then I will carry my idea and go and do my idea. He will now say, oh, that thing works. That thing works. I said, huh? So now they will now buckle up that, it's a goal I have here. But if you are giving ideas, you to use the idea. The idea is not to be given all the time. You to use it. I'm sometimes a feminist. I want a woman to be. See, if a woman is financially free, she cannot be molested, she cannot be assaulted, she cannot be pushed back. If a woman is financially free. And some men, they will be crying in the bathroom. Oh, my wife, she's killing me. She's this. She's not allowing. Oh, I'm working hard, but she's not doing anything. She's just chilling. Have I not married wrong? Something that doesn't make sense, but they're already thinking it outside the box. But if you are bringing something, you may not bring a lot, but the fact that you are bringing something, they know that if I have 10,000, my wife can join 5,000 with it. Oh, the marriage will be good. But you're
Very
bringing 10,000, wife cannot have 1,000. Even if she has idea, the man will just be mad, because money is the cocoa. So financial capability, I have, you have. We discuss how we want to do the finance. When I got to America with my husband, things changed because we didn't discuss it then. I told you I worked into a marriage without even knowing what a marriage is. So when we came to America, things changed. We're both making money. So when we're both making money, then trust will be broken. You start hiding things. Oh, I don't want that to have more than me. I don't want him to have more than me. Let him spend his own first. And me, I'll spend my own first. So all of this discussion must be trashed. If you want to open one account, let's know. If you want to open joint account, let's know. Okay, we're open joint account. We'll still having our own personal account. We'll bring 50%. You spend, you do whatever you like with the 50%, but 50% must be remitted to this account. Let's know. No matter, even if you are making 1,000, I'm making 5,000, if your 50% is done in that account, I can trust you. Okay, yes, you are committed to this marriage. You are committed, because when our money is committed, anything you put your money into, your chest is there. So if I'm bringing my money into this marriage, I'm bringing my money while building a house. I'm bringing my money to cater for our children for the future, because our children, either you like it or not, they are investment. They are going to bring me millions in the future. So all of these things, you are bringing my money. I don't want to be the one bringing my money to the children alone. You should bring your money, all of the investments for the children, let's put it into it. So all of these things have to be trash, because really, if it wasn't trash at the beginning, it's going to be so hard to even talk about bring $1,000. So finance, oh, please go get an advice. I mean, we're not marriage counselor. Go to marriage counselors. I think they are professionals. 1 hour, 1,000. Go there. It can be very expensive to save you a long way. Yes, finances, discuss it, carry book and paper. You said this. Okay, if somebody loses their job, how did you fend for the family? That person
Mm.
that lost his job. Because if you are putting money in the same account, if somebody lose their job, that same person should still be continuing, should still be able to continue to put money inside that account while that person buckles up to get another job. But if somebody lost their job and is still paying bills, then that person is pressured. So that kind of person, you not tell that person to come to the other room at night. That person will be mad, and that's where the problem of the other room will come in, because you're telling me to pay bill out of
You are
tension and you need money. See, I have a lot to say about marriage, because see, I don't want to take our time, but talk
you are
about finance.
you are shaking the table too much. As in, you are like the table. Which prefer this to the way. I really, really, Louisa, if you're saying I see you're trying to say something, but you're not audible. We cannot hear you. We can hear you. No, we cannot hear you at all. Can you hear her?
No, I can't.
No, so you're not.
You know?
So yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. So I think my speaker died. But I think we're gonna do a part two to this before you say I do, because that topic is very important, and a lot of people, a lot of young women out there, people out there are getting divorced. We want to cut down the divorce rate.
Yeah,
The goal is to cut down divorce rates, because marriage is a beautiful institution.
it
Marriage
is.
is sweet when you guys get the understanding of what marriage is. When you see the vision and you begin to put these things to that we just said on the broadcast to you, marriage becomes so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We're gonna go around the table. I'll be the last, then I'll do the closing. Sister Todd will I know we're gonna do part two, but just for the next 2 weeks, right? What would you like to leave our viewers in their hearing before we come back to continue? Before you say I do, what is that one thing, sis, you would like to put in their ear till we can come back?
Ah, I'm going to say it as it is. This is the way they dropped it in my spirit. It is called
Drop it, drop it in your spirits.
it shine your eye. When
Hey,
shine your eye, that means beware. So getting married is very sweet. In fact, marriage is approved, signed, sealed by God. But before you say I do, you need to know why you want to say I do. So I'm really excited that we're going to have part two. And I want this madam that can shake all
yeah,
the table and
yes,
flower
yes, madam. Please, please.
her
So
back.
2 weeks, I will send you.
Remove
Please,
the
if you do have on WhatsApp, please send me the WhatsApp. So I can add you to FGI Couch Talk family, so we can discuss. We can discuss, so you can be back the next session. Now, talking, I know she said something about counselor. We are privileged to be connected to a certified marriage counselor who can help. If you do need that help, we are privileged to be connected to one. Please let us know if your marriage is going through issues right now. Please let us know. Well, I'm gonna turn the table back over to you, sis. What was that one thing? One thing you would like to leave in that ear till we come back. What is that one thing?
I would say that be intentional. See,
So we got shine your eye and be
you
intentional.
yeah,
I'm
you have to yeah, you have to be intentional. See, anything, even in a career, if you are not intentional, you don't even know where you're going. You
mm,
have to be intentional.
And
Intentional with everything we have said, and put God on top. Be intentional. Yes, because it is with God that everything we have said can be possible. Right?
exactly.
Go with a word. Go with a skill. The word, the skill, your intentionality.
mm,
When I mean the word, I mean the word of God. Go with
yes,
the word, go with a skill. A skill. What do you have to bring? Then be intentional. This is how I want it. If it cannot be like that, how can we bend it? If not bendable, what can we do? Then maybe you can head up going to a marriage counselor or whatever, but be
yes, yes.
intentional.
Please inbox us if you know if your marriage is being shaken. Let us know because this is what FGI Cultures is about. We are here to bring solution to everyday life issues. It doesn't matter what that issue is. We are here to bring solution. So we will be back. And today, I know you guys are missing another face. Our sister Abira, she travels. She will be back with us. I believe when we coming back in the next 2 weeks, you will be seeing 4 ladies, and we are gonna bring the heat. We are gonna bring the heat. We are ready to, for people to be blessed. People need to be blessed. We need to cut down. When we come back, we are gonna get the statistic of divorce. We will get the statistic of divorce when we come back with part 2. This is why we are stressing, we are bringing light to these things because the rate of divorce is very, very hard and we want to bring it down. FGI Costa want to bring the divorce rate down in any way we can. So please let us know when you are going, whatever you're going through. If it's a mental health counseling, we got your back. Please inbox us. We will connect you. If you need someone to talk to in your career field, you need that push. Let us know. We got your back. Whatever you need, if you need a ear to listen to, just inbox us. We got you. This is what we are here for. My one thing, right? My one thing I would like to say will be stay tuned. We will be back. Stay tuned. FGI Couch Talk will be back in 2 weeks with part 2 of Before You Say I Do. Everyone, please have a blessed week. Have a blessed week. I know the kids are getting ready to go back to school. Pray over your kid. Bless the kid. Stay tuned. Please, if you are not following FGI Couch Talk, please make your way to our page, like the page, follow the page. Feel free to leave your comment on FGI Couch Talk page, what you need us to improve. If you have a juicy topic that you want us to discuss, post it on the page. Let us know, say, girls, I need you guys to talk on this topic. Just post it there. Please follow the page, like the page, invite people on the page. Let us grow that page, people. Come on now. We in at 3,000. We want to hit 5,000 followers. We need the please help us to build FGI Couch Talk. God bless you all. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye
Hi.
bye. Bye bye. Bye bye, everyone.